from JK Fiber Arts. Today I wanted to explore with you the world of silk hankies, or what we call Mawata Silk. And what these are every single one of these little layers. So these are what the hankies look like when you purchase them. I bought these already dyed. However, I have a bunch on order from KMash Fiber Arts, and I'm going to dye them. So we'll do that in a different video, but I've had these for years and years. I can't even remember when I got them. And recently, Mary from KMash Fiber Arts had a sale on them, undyed, and I was like, oh yeah, I should check out my silk hankies. And I got them out, and I was like, oh, I forgot how fun these are. Usually because I remember once I start spinning silk that I don't enjoy it as much because it's rough on the hands. But the summer is the best time. And make sure your hands have some lotion on because they'll really stick to any dry skin you have. So each one of these layers, and let me see if I can peel this apart here, is one silk cocoon. And what they do is they stretch that silk cocoon over a square form. And that is what gives you the silk hanky. And this is what it looks like. And you can keep peeling them, but they are just stacked. Let me see if I can get this one even thinner. And you can just keep pulling them until you can't separate it anymore. And there are many of these stacked on top of each other. And then wait for the magic because it's coming. You're gonna be like, holy cow, that's magical. So here is even finer. When you looked at what I had before, you're like, you can't make that thinner. And yet, here it is, thinner. Oh, it's sticking. I have terrible dry skin. So again, that's why I do this in the summer. But here you have your square. And then here's what's that first one that we thought, oh, that can't possibly get any thinner. And here is this one. And honestly, I could probably peel another layer. This one is a little more compact than the others. Sorry, there's like invisible hair everywhere. Yeah, there's another one right there. Ooh, these are beautiful. So, and here's the green one, and I just love these. So now, the way that we prep this to spin, and this is super fun, is you just poke a hole in the middle, and you draw it out like this. You just keep drawing it till the thickness that you want. And look, here's our roving. And then all you do is you break it at one end, whichever end you want to start at. And here is my roving pre-drafted. And the other thing is, because this is all one silk cocoon, you can actually knit directly with this. So you can pull this out even thinner, and you can spin. I mean, you literally take your knitting needle and just start knitting, cast on and knit. And you can make some beautiful 100% silk stuff. You could weave with it too. I love this dye, isn't that beautiful? So let's do the green one that I just separated out. This one still gets thinner yet. I think this is probably the last one. Yeah, I don't think I can get that one any thinner. And again, all I'm gonna do is make a hole in the middle, and then I'm just gonna draft it out until it's about where you want it to be, you think, for your spinning. Usually silk spins up pretty thin. And now you have all your pre-drafting done and you're ready to spin. I'll go ahead and break this one off too. And now we can take this over to the wheel and spin from this roving. How cool is that? I would recommend that you open up all your hankies before you go to the wheel so that you can just keep spinning. So this green one I'm actually not going to do right now, but I do think I'm going to spin this black one. And then these are some that I opened up last night when I remembered that I had them. And I started spinning some on the wheel, but it's so wonderful and soft and fantastic. And I love these colors, so brilliant. Yeah, and you can see I have some on my wheel right here. So let's get this to the wheel and talk about how much I have a love-hate relationship with spinning silk. I'm going to cast on here with this silk so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And I decided to go with this 5 needle. I thought it would be a good size for this. We'll see. And I'm just gonna throw on a few stitches here. I'll just do a little bit in stockinette and we'll see what it looks like. You're seeing this as I'm seeing it. I've never knit with it before, but I know that you can. Silk is slippery. All right, I'm gonna keep going with this and then we'll show you what it looks like here in just a minute. This is very slippery and I keep slipping my stitch. This is just reminding me of all the reasons I don't like to knit with black. It's gotta have just a little bit of something else in it. All right, let me get this a little bit more. I got this much left, so we'll get into this white. I think it'll give us a cute little sample you can look at. Here is my very tiny swatch, but it's kind of cool. It would knit up in stripes. And I didn't even bother casting off. I'll probably just take this off and spin it. But you can see my little tail at the end there. I left a very little, but it's super pretty. Look at the sheen. And you know, you did see that a lot of this was irregular, but when you look at the knit stitches, they all look pretty good with the exception of this one over here where it got a little bit thick. But it's really nice and of course so lovely and soft. I may consider knitting some of this up just straight up sometime. I have our Mawata Silk here into roving. I've already started on the wheel, so we are going to continue on here. So what I do is, one, you should lotion up a bit, and I did not, so this might be a bit of a struggle. And I just unwind this roving. So I'm just opening this up the whole way. I was unwinding it and spinning it, and then it would get tangled in the end because it's so clingy, the fiber is so clingy that it was making it challenging. So I decided that I would just open them up. So what I was doing here, I was experimenting with thicker and thinner and what I liked for the yarn. And what I had decided is, look at that beautiful thing, that I liked it a little bit thicker. My plan here is to 3-ply, and I don't want it to be too thick, but I think this is going to be lovely. And the WPI on this one, 18. So right there is 18, if you can see that. Trying out my new multi-camera angle thing. Only took us a half an hour to figure out how to turn it on. But I think we've got it. So when we start, you have the end floofed like this, and make sure your other end is floofed. And I'm going to start treadling here. And there's very little in the way of drafting that needs to occur. And there we are joined. And all I'm really doing at this point is, because I've done all this pre-drafting, see how nice and consistent that is? It's amazing. And you just kind of add your twist as you go along here. Now, if you want to draft it some more, you can. It is a little more challenging if you don't get to it early, because it's very tight and difficult to draft it after that. You can see I'm really not doing much in the way of drafting at all here. I want to get it not too thin. You could spin this like eyelash thin, and it would be very easy to spin it eyelash thin. It's really, really hard to break this. I mean, if you have one fiber, it'll stay together. My problem is making it too thin. Even though it's beautiful thin, I really wanted to make it just a little bit thicker. I think I'm going to chain ply this. Since I don't have very much of it, I want to make sure I use every little bit of it. And, this would be a good one to test the plyback test on here. So, actually I'm a little thin. See how thin I got here? And how thick I got here? If I wanted to do the truer plyback, I'd stick with the thicker part, which is kind of cool. Looks kind of neat. And again, if you do consistent drafting in the beginning, when you open up your silk hanky and it's nice and consistent thickness the whole way around, you literally can just run your hand down it. But right here is what I want. This is like a nice consistent stretch, and I really like this type of stuff. And this is really what I'm going for, is something more along these lines here. You can see that. Look at how pretty that is. So that 3-ply is going to be gorgeous. You see that? looking pretty consistent now. I just think I didn't do a very good job of pulling this out to a consistent thickness. I think now we have it. All right, so now you can see this is more like what it should be like. So you can just kind of just run your hand along here and it just goes right in. The beauty of pre-drafting silk, so now it's not going to be hard on your hands. And I'm staying that nice, consistent spin. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's perfect. There. Look at that. It looks perfect. I love it. So this will be really nice when it is chain plied. It'll be a nice thickness. A little bit better, a little bit thicker probably than a sport weight yarn. So I'm not gonna do anything different. All I'm gonna do is just run my finger over this and just add more twist to it. And just look, by virtue of doing that, look how much more consistent this yarn is here. Now you can see that. And here's our ply back test. I did nothing different other than I added a little more twist. And now look at it. Now it's really pretty. I like that. I could even do a little more twist on it, I think. So I will see you guys back here in just a few minutes. Yeah, I like that one even better. Look at that. Oh, so good. All right, so I will see you back here when we're ready to do the ply. We are ready to ply. I am so excited for this. So all I'm gonna do is put this loop, I'm gonna make this silk into a loop, and then I'm gonna tie a little knot in the end of it here. This will be our little starter place. And then we're gonna, I hear Finn over there. Shh, Finny. And I'm gonna pass the loop through this other loop, like so. I'm actually coming from back to front so that my left hand can be the boss here. I have my Lazy Kate actually a little bit more towards the front than I usually have it. I have found that chain plying is actually working a little better for me that way. Put that right there. And I think that is going to be the answer. And I have my ply set to S direction. And we're just going to test out, see what this is looking like here. Because I typically have a little too much twist. So I want to make sure I don't have too much twist in this. And the chain plying is let's see. That's not bad. I like it. Okay. All right. I think everything's good. So let's keep going. I have been experimenting. I have a new app doing the camera angles, and I'm hopeful that this is going to be a really good upgrade. So you can see me from the front and the back, and you can see like a close-up on my hands, and I can switch back and forth between the two views. I think this might be a little too much twist. Let's see. I have to take into consideration that I like to talk. Oh, no, it looks great. Okay, I'm okay with that too. All right, we can keep going. So for the chain ply, I'm just doing the loops here. The bigger the loops, the less time you have to go through the join. So you have fewer of potential areas of bump, but let me show you here. You can't even tell where I joined that. It's right here. It's a touch more twist. But it's really not that noticeable. If you run your finger over it, it's very smooth, so it's not going to give you, you know, some people had said don't chain ply for socks because it is bumpy, but I thought, well, most of my chain plies aren't very bumpy at all. And I ended up chain plying a toe for a sock because I wanted like a brighter stripe for the toe. It was the same colorway, but I spun a bit of it so that I could do it in like a stripier pattern. And it turned out great, and I wear that sock. I love that sock, and I don't feel any bumps on it, so I don't know. There's also people who say that chain ply is not as sturdy as 3-ply, and again, I would be in that school of thought historically, but that was before I started to like chain ply. Because typically, I am not, and historically I should say, I have not been a fan of chain ply, but I have really embraced, you know, getting comfortable with the stuff that makes you uncomfortable, and I'm actually quite enjoy it now. So we're just going to bring this along here, and there are, this particular prep of silk has some neps in it, and there's just nothing that can be done about that, so there'll be a little bit of texture in this, which is fine. I think I'm going to use this to spin anyway, or to weave anyways, so I'll just keep doing this. And I really like the way this is coming along. I do want to check my twist here. Oh yeah, this is lovely. It's a little bit twisty. Let's take some of this twist out. And if you let your hand run back like that, that will take out any extra twist. So now I don't have enough. There we are. That's better. See that? Looking good. Looking good. I still am a strong believer that the most important part about the chain plying is having a tension lazy Kate, so that you can not have things coil back up on themselves. I hope Finn doesn't come on camera. He went for his first big boy haircut yesterday, and we knew he needed a little bit of a summer cut, and so my husband found a picture on Instagram. It was a super cute Bernie Doodle dog that had a very nice summer cut. You know, it was shorter, but like, you know, maybe like 2 inches short, and we got him back, and he was like buzz cut. It is crazy. And not only was the no poodle completely disregarded, he looks exactly like a poodle, only bald. But the upside to his first big boy haircut is that I have them save his fur for me, and we'll do some of that at some point soon. And I'm gonna blend it. You should blend it with wool because obviously it doesn't have any memory. We'll look into that, and I think it's going to actually be really pretty. So I'm kind of excited about that project. And I can tell you that he had a pound of hair shaved off. He weighed 63 pounds before his haircut, and he weighed 62 pounds after. And I really like the way this is changing from the white to the gray to the black. And some of it has a really nice blend of the in-between, which is lovely. So I'm just going to keep chain plying this, and then I will be back with our final yarn. And then you guys will all want to rush out and get your silk hankies, because it really is fun and it's super easy to do. And if you're not an experienced spinner, it's a great way to get started, make some really pretty yarn without having to do much in the way of worrying about drafting. It's all about the pre-drafting on those hankies. Here we have our final yarn, and these little silk hankies come in about an ounce was each one. So, and I didn't spin all of these up. This was the one that was on my wheel that you saw when I first started showing you how to do the hankies. And here was the black and white one that I did. And what I have also done, they had a lot of kind of little neppy stuff on here. Here's one of the little neps here. And I ordered some silk hankies from Camash Fiber Arts, and those silk hankies are really nice, and they don't have any of the neps in them. And I just finished dyeing some of them, and I'll put some of the photos up at the end, but oh, they are awesome. And I am going to put them up on my website if anybody is interested in trying them out and having a little bit of fun. They are available now. It is really, really a lot of fun, and I made some really cool colors. One of them I'm going to call medium rare. It's going to look really cool. I don't know if you remember back to when I was dyeing in the winter, and I did the Coopworth, and I was like looking mighty meaty, and it kind of looked like meat, raw meat in the pot, and it totally looked beautiful when it was finished and spun. This is that same type of a thing. So, but I am thinking about calling it medium rare. And I think what I could have done, if I applied them together, I think that would have looked amazing. And the more I think about it, the more I think I would like to knit these together. I think they would look really, really cool. It's a lot of fun, and I hope you guys have as much fun doing this as I had, and I will see you next time. Until then, spin happy.